91 goals in a single calendar year. Something so crazy it almost seemed impossible. But for one man, it was just another remarkable chapter in this story. Lionel Messi, in what was never seen before, shattered records and left the world in awe with his otherworldly goal-scoring form. I know many of you are aware of this legendary year in Messi's career, and I'm sure many of you remember some of the iconic goals he scored that year. But do you really understand just how insane that is? Well, today we're going to look back at the story of Lionel Messi's goal year and see just how it might be impossible to break it, for the very few who might not be aware. In the year 2012, Messi accomplished a seemingly impossible feat, scoring 91 goals in a single calendar year. First, let's look at a breakdown of the goals he scored that year. The majority of his goals would of course come from La Liga. Messi scored 59 goals in 38 La Liga matches, followed by 13 goals in 12 Champions League matches, 5 goals in 8 Copa del Rey matches, 2 goals in 2 Supercopa matches, 5 goals in World Cup qualifiers, and finally 7 goals in international friendlies. Add it all up and you'll get a total of 91 goals in 69 matches. This is an insane 1.31 goals per game for an entire year. This was truly Messi's greatest form when it came to true goal scoring ability. Because when you add in his 22 assists over the years, well, Messi would average an insane goal, or assist every 52.8 minutes on the pitch. Heck, even if you do it by goals alone, Messi was scoring roughly every 66 minutes. Live like that's pretty damn unbelievable if you ask me. And to go along with his 91 goals were a total of 9 hat-tricks and 7 free-kick goals throughout the year. The genius level display here is truly mind. Some of you might be thinking, why are goals mentioned under the calendar year instead of a single season? And a great question, because basically the title for the most goals scored in a single year was held by the legendary Jared Müller, and it was so impressive that the entire category of logging goals throughout the year was made just because of him. Müller's 85 goals in 60 matches stood as the record for 40 years before Messi would break it in 2012. But while Müller did score fewer total goals, his goal-scoring ratio was an insane 1.42 goals per game, and it's still the highest. Just for a single season by itself, well, the numbers kind of go around a bit. But if you really want to break it down by season, in the 1972-73 Bundesliga season, Jared Müller scored 66 goals and had 9 assists in 49 appearances. That gives him an absolutely ridiculous 1.53 goal contributions per game for the season. But just slightly better than Müller was Cristiano Ronaldo's 61 goals and 23 assists in 54 matches, which was an insane 1.55 goal contributions per game in the 2014-15 season. For Lionel Messi, it was the 2011-12 season that a majority of It was the 2011-12 season that a majority of his goals from that year came from. Because Messi would score 73 goals and have 33 assists. That is a mind-blowing 1.92 points, even if you just look at a single season instead of a full calendar year. Messi still went absolutely insane. These numbers are just ridiculous, like even averaging 1.5 goals a game for the whole season is incredibly difficult. These are truly some FIFA player numbers in real life. And in the beginning of the 2022-23 season, at one point, Erling Haaland was averaging 2 goals per game. But fast forward to this last half of the season, and Haaland has 32 goals and 4 assists in 32 matches, indeed amazing at 1.12 goals per game. But it just goes to show you how difficult it can be to maintain such ridiculous numbers throughout the entire season. Now comes the fun part. Let's take a look at the biggest highlights of Messi's goals in 2012. In the early months of the year, Messi was already in insane form. He was scoring goals for fun and leaving defenders in his wake, making the impossible look easy. In January 8, Messi would score 2 goals in Barcelona's 4-1 win over Espanyol. Then just a day later, he would receive his 3rd consecutive Ballon d'Or for his amazing year in 2011. And towards the end of January, he scored 4 goals in Barca's 5-1 win over Valencia in the Copa del Rey semi-final. In February, Messi scored his 200th goal for Barcelona in just his 235th appearance, breaking the previous record held by legendary striker Laszlo Kubala. March was when things really got crazy.